This is the TANTIVE 4 boarding. This set came out March 1st with 502 pieces, retailing for $55. It is for ages 8 and up and comes with a whopping 7 minifigures, including ARC Trooper 5s and all of these different Rebels and Stormtroopers, which is rare at this price. With that said, let's go. So starting off here is the box. Now it's interesting because it's kind of like a hallway within a hallway. You have the hallway build, then you have the hallway background from the movie. On the corner you will see this kind of new tealish blue shiny color, metallic color, where there's usually say white or like the color adjusts based on whatever the show is that it's based on. This is a New Hope set, but this is been pretty consistent with all the new sets. It comes with the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars logo with the exclusive ARC Trooper 5's minifigure. Now you move over, you get a look at all of the minifigures. There are a lot. And then we can flip over the box. It gives you a bit of the details that come in the set. It is a really play feature heavy set. And then we also do get a look at the thumb tabs. On the top, which is actually one of the more interesting areas, you get the 25th anniversary thing right there in a different language and Captain Antilles. Then you have the bottom of the box. Now let's take a look at the instructions. I always find it interesting to take a good look at instruction manuals because they give you a lot of interesting insight in the sets often. You have the little Rebel Trooper running down the center, and then you have the piece count, obviously. There are no ads on the back of this, which is a little curious, but there is a 25th anniversary advertisement, and they also show you this way where if you get 2 of these sets, you can combine them. I will hopefully try to combine these at some point in the future, and you can get like the full hallway look. It's not the greatest design. There are certainly better ways to do it. Now let's take a look at the minifigs. Now the first minifigure up is Darth Vader. There's nothing particularly new about him. He has the arm printing, which is a great addition. And then you also do, of course, get the back printing, which is nice. And LEGO every now and then does like to mess around with Vader. So the way they messed around with him here to make him a little unique, a little exclusive, they gave him a bit of a different face from my understanding. This is a new face print, but it is pretty cool and I like it a lot. You also get the new Stormtroopers, which are, in my opinion, horrendous. The big helmets don't fit with any of the other, they don't fit with clones, they don't fit with the First Order Troopers, they don't rhyme with anyone, they don't look good. I don't like the white belt. I'm not a fan of these guys. As time has gone on, I've become less and less a fan of them. I'd say the worst figure in the set. They do come with a bit of an interesting thing, so they both come with unique faces, which is something they've been starting to do. So that's nice. If you are interested in that at all, they are good faces for you to use on custom minifigs because you don't really see them that much under the helmet, but there are 2 of them, which is very nice. Counter those boys, we have 2 Rebel Troopers. Rebel Trooper is very simple, and this is the first time we've really gotten them in any serious army building capacity since the battle pack they did a handful of years ago. He also does come with an alternate expression. The thing I like about these guys is they haven't changed very much at all in the many years of LEGO Star Wars. There are 2 of them, and they are the exact same guy. There is no tangible differences that I am aware of. Both come with blasters, both very nice figures, which is ironic that these Stormtroopers get new faces and original faces, but these guys, who you actually see their face, don't. That's a little weird to me. You also do get Captain Antilles, who does get choked out a little bit by Darth Vader in this particular set. He comes with the torso print, no leg printing, which is a little disappointing. We could have used some cargo pants. Comes with a pretty stern, generic face that he could use to command his boys. Very nice to have. Worst case scenario, you just pop that helmet off and put it on a more generic looking torso. So that way you could kind of blend him in if you end up army building the set and buying a couple. And this last one is ARC Trooper 5s. He's the 25th anniversary edition inclusion, so obviously he was not in this scene. Before we go into all of his various issues, let's start with the bottom plaque. It is, after all, the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars, so they included this little stand. They haven't done this, I think it's the 20th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars, so this will be nice to tag on with those. Now, here he is, ARC Trooper 5s. There are a couple parts about him that are good, and a couple parts about him that are bad, and a couple that are just okay. Let's start with the good. Starting off, as always, arm print is gorgeous. He has them on both sides. They look great. I have no issues there. One thing I think is inexcusable, however, is the lack of a comma. Now, the reason I am guessing they did this, I know they have been very anti-comma as of late, because I don't believe they have printed on commas with this amount of bending required and this kind of color. Now, if you look at the stripes, you have the blue stripes on it. So that could be a part of it. Personally, I think it's a very weak and very lame excuse, mainly because he's an exclusive figure. He's supposed to be standing on a plaque. He does not get involved in the set build at all. He's a total side inclusion. So that is absolutely ridiculous. The toe printing is fine. And the belt, again, I do not like how those straps just linger over. That looks incredibly dumb. Another thing is the ammo pouch. The ammo pouch probably is a little on the larger side for what it should be. Is that something we need to spend a lot of time about? No, I think that's part of a creative decision with how you proportion out minifigures. Personally, one of my least favorite parts about this has to be the actual comma itself. It does not curve over. Lego nailed the design in the original ARC Trooper, and it curved over the shoulder pads. This just kind of lays flat. Now, I think there is a solution to this, and I am going to advise people do this. So what you can do is you can put these a bit under on the base of him, and then you can cover it. Now, you're gonna need to do this for a couple hours, and you need to let it just kind of sit overnight or whatever. And then you can flatten it out. And you wanna do this on both sides, especially the front side, so it kind of hangs over a little bit like it does and should in the movie. But that is something I'd recommend, and you just put the little 5s helmet over it, and it actually, even if you want to leave it this way, it doesn't look terrible. He also does come with a nice backpack build that is consistent with the old one. It looks very good, and the reason I have all this loose here is because I want to show you the back print, which a lot of people have neglected. It is nothing special. It is a very, very basic Clone Trooper back printing. Let's talk about my absolute favorite part of this entire set. It's not the helmet. The face. Like Captain Rex, they nailed the face print. He comes with the full goatee. This is, if you do this for all of the faults of this figure and for all of his issues, it still feels freaking sick. Because Fives is just such a cool character. It's really hard to screw him up. Now, they did screw him up in the helmet department, and that significantly hurts him. But does he look epic here? Dude, this is still an epic Lego minifigure. He's a really cool looking character. So when he just feels all this bulk, you have the backpack and you give that extra hairpiece, which I have. Not everyone has, but I have, and it looks great. The printing still looks sharp. It's wraparound. This looks cool, which is why I am a little kinder than I guess some people have been to it, and I understand the criticism, especially when you put on the helmet. The main issue here, obviously, is that top half of the helmet. People are complaining about the holes. I don't care. The main issue with this is obviously that they did not print over it correctly. It looks idiotic. It looks incredibly dumb. Realistically, it should be all solid. There should be no white lines in the center there. And the antenna looks fine. I'm glad Lego's been keeping those up. It looks good. Fives is still an epic character. It's hard to screw him up. That is my Fives review, which is, I'd say, the main reason that anyone should buy this set. All right, so now it is time to get into the build. There's a lot to unpack here. So we're gonna start with one of the core features of this entire build, which I'd say is the door. Now, watching the movie Rogue One, there's a scene where a little rebel goes and tries to close the door. So there's a little lever, and he kind of pushes it up and says, launch. Now, this feature is cool because it goes all around and wraps around until about here. Now, this is at the back of our door mold, which looks really cool, and we will get into in a second. But what you could do with this is you could lift it up and down like this. So when it's down, you have this fiery open. So you can see the doors open, the stormtroopers have broken through. I will clear the figures, and you could just walk them through, and it's epic. Now, Darth Vader's coming, right? You don't want him to get the Death Star plans or whatever that is. So you simply lift it back up, and the door is closed, which is a really cool feature. They even have a little standing room for Darth Vader. It's not perfect because of his lightsaber. If you do it without his lightsaber, which is how he actually entered the room in that movie, in A New Hope, it's pretty cool. So that is neat. Now, looking at the door itself, it is a printed piece, which is really neat. And I really do love this whole feature. I think the reason it's a printed piece is because it rubs up against the plastic. And I think what I love even more than that is the specific entranceway. I think that looks incredibly cool to have stormtroopers, they could walk through and it just, oh, that just looks, that looks freaking awesome. And then when you get the hallway down this angle, it doesn't look bad either. I don't have 3 of these sets, so it's a little hard for me to capture, but you do get a great amount of greebling with these gold bar pieces and the grill pieces. You also get some stickers with these grills and those little fans on the wall. This reminds me so much of the first level in the Complete Saga game. Like, I want to go up to the wall with Darth Vader and just hash it out and destroy it, and then it would, like, studs will pop out, but I know that's not going to happen. So you'll notice there are 4 of these little guys, and there are also 4 soldier boys in this set. So you can basically have an epic battle. So the way this works, you put them down on, say, a stud hopper. We'll pick this one over here, right? And there is a 1x1 piece, so that way this little Technic piece on the bottom, you can see right here, will move it around. You can do this, like so, and then bada bing, bada boom, you can knock him down, you can knock him off. Now, that's if you do it slow. Now, my preferred way to do it is, you know, a stormtrooper yotes him, and he goes, yeah. Bro's gonna go flying. He went all the way over there. That's crazy projectile power. Now, by this point, we're gonna say the rebels have lost, so the box kind of says you should just kind of have them strewn against the floor. Now, Darth Vader is obviously here to investigate Captain Antilles, which is why there is a little clear piece here, and Darth Vader can choke him to find out where the Death Star plans are and where Princess Leia is. Captain Antilles is gonna fly in 3, 2, boom, he's gone, and Darth Vader just chucked him. How epic is that? Now, overall, I'd say this set is great. It is a quality value. One part I think was missing is it could have had one less piece, you know. I don't know, because, I don't know, for weird reasons. I think they could have lost a piece just for that. But it is, I think, a great value set at $55, especially if it goes down to $40, $45, and you could get all 7 of these minifigures, including the Legend ARC Trooper 5s. I think that's really cool, and especially now that Rex is going to be coming out in a $15 set, and we're going to have 501st Troopers available again in that Grogu's Escape set. We're going to be able to build a 501st Army again, and you have the Battle Pack still available, so that's really nice that all of that is accessible. Now, in terms of a number rating, what will I give this set? I give it a solid 8. It's a nice set, it's a nice value, you feel like you're getting substance for what you're paying, and I like that when I'm buying a set and I feel like I'm getting something substantive. I think LEGO really should do this as the way forward. Obviously, production costs are getting more expensive, but minifigures cost the same to produce as regular, pieces. So I think if you just change the value spectrum on minifigures a little, it'll make sets feel like you're getting a heck of a lot more value. And I like that. I think they're starting to realize that, and I think that's why things like the Clone Pack exist, and I think that's why things like this exist. So that is awesome. I hope LEGO continues to include far more minifigures in all of their sets. Let me know what you think of it. Remember to comment and subscribe to this channel. With all that said, God bless and stay awesome.